Hello everyone. Hold on, I'm trying to make sure that this is running while we're going here. Is it gonna hold out? No. Okay, let me try and turn the webcam off and see if this will run it a little better. I think that, no, I think it was just working a couple seconds ago. It's not a problem with the program, it's a problem with my computer not being able to handle the program running at the same time as the webcam, as the stream and everything. So, I'm trying to get this figured out. Is it gonna work? Okay, I think it's working for now, so I'll begin talking. I'm not sure if the stream is up. It looks like it is. Yeah, alright. So, like you might see in the title of the stream, I have been working more on the environment project, so that's why you can see Jeffrey here spinning around in circles. Now, he's not just spinning around in circles because that's the null state. He has been learning a little bit over the course of the past few days, and I mean past few days as in the past few days exactly. On Saturday, instead of having the stream, I was coding, and that was when I was able to get the code conversions necessary for Jeffrey to start thinking. There was some complications, and you will see that he just turned his flashlight on, so there has been some upgrades to the to his program, as in upgrades that Jeffrey and the AI have decided on. At the current moment, Jeffrey is not thinking, because I was afraid that, given that the program was crashing while I just had it by itself up, I figured that it would probably not be to the benefit of the program crashing to have the AI also running at the same time. I do believe that in the future that will be a possibility. It doesn't seem to be taking up too much extra processing power on the computer's end, so I will be looking into that. But at the current moment, there's too many glitches with the AI. It crashes on its own due to errors in reading text files and whatnot. So I'm trying to decipher whether or not that is on my computer's end or whether that's on the code end, and what I can do to fix it in either situation. I will be working on that in the days to come and throughout the next few weeks, as I have been sitting and I've been trying to run the AI so that Jeffrey can learn while I'm out and about during the day. It does limit what I'm able to see, but I'm hoping that when I turn the AI on the streams, we'll be able to watch together, and I will be seeing for the first time as well as you guys. So at the moment, Jeffrey has his flashlight on and is spinning around, so that's two different things at the same time, proving that it is different than the null state and isn't just a situation where the flashlight's being turned on automatically, like I had said the original null state was. Although, if you follow me on Twitter, you may have seen many of the different things that the AI has learned over the course. Now, none of these are being applied in a necessarily useful way. So what I mean by that is the AI is just randomly trying things, and at the moment, it is not solidified when it needs to use different things. That's something that comes with a lot of running and a lot of learning, because it requires the randomness of the program to be shifted towards those more intelligent decisions. And when you're running with something random as this AI is, the probability of those decisions being coded in requires a lot of time to be effective. Now you will see that in a few seconds here, Jeffrey is going to die and respawn. But what's cool is that will bring up a new situation and possibly a different decision based off of that new situation. So we will see what goes on there in a few seconds. Okay, so it seems that he's doing the same thing, and this is probably, if I were to guess, because the food pellet is still in the shot, so nothing has changed environment-wise. So in the instinct library, Jeffrey's going to the same program to make decisions. So I'm going to try and see if we can get a new environment and see what happens, because I did see some extra activity over the course of him learning, so I will see how that goes. Okay, so there's nothing there, and if you watch the blue bar, you'll actually see it's spiking, which means he's actually shooting the wall there. So he has the flashlight on and he's shooting, but he is no longer spinning. It could be possible that something different will happen when his health gets a little lower, but because he's in the charged up area, because he's in the lit up area, his charge will stay almost full over the course of this until he dies, and then it will drop to 0 and have to recharge. So none of the different battery cases will come into play here until his health goes all the way down, but we may see some changes as Jeffrey's health switches into different quadrants. So while that's running, I'll just explain some of the things. Like I was saying, if you follow me on Twitter, I was posting pictures and videos of the different events that I was witnessing. There was a situation where Jeffrey, you can see he just moved. He moved into the wall, so that's a conscious decision, and he's still shooting. Well, I say conscious. I mean, it's an AI, but that's 3 decisions now at the same time. So that's slightly more intelligent, although it may not look like that considering he's literally in a wall and shooting. But that does show progress from the spinning around in circles that is the null state. So there was a situation where because he was spinning around, when it reached the point where he stopped spinning and started moving forward, he was aimed outwards, and he was able to move out into the open environment. Because there was more objects around, he immediately stopped and started spinning around in circles again, because this was a new environment. There were more objects in his field of vision. Although I can't remember if the flashlight was on or off. I don't remember exactly. So in that case, if it was off, then he would not be seeing anything and would be using the decisions for a no object environment. But if the flashlight was on, then he would see everything that is fairly close to him, and he would be making decisions based off of how many different objects are immediately within his field of vision. Now, enemies have not come into play, but I was expecting that. It I'm expecting that it will take a large sum of time for motor skills to develop in in terms of maneuvering around obstacles and also making the conscious decision to go out from this light. The light is somewhat of a sanctuary because it keeps you fully charged, but at the same time there's limited food supply. In this case, there is no food supply. So Jeffrey is just on a constant cycle of starving and then respawning and doing that over again. So he's not the smartest in terms of how AIs go, but that is the thing with AIs is that if you leave them running long enough, they will learn. Now, like I said, at the moment, this is not the brain per se is not on. So Jeffrey is just looking through the instinct library, assessing the environment, and making decisions based off of what instincts have been coded in from the brain of the operation. But with the brain on, there is the possibility that if Jeffrey sat in an environment for a long enough period of time, then the brain would create a set of decisions that would allow him to score higher in that environment or move to a new environment if the environment is not preferable. Now, the situation with the brain programs, so the boss program, the parent program, and the child program, is that I have them. They are coded. They run smoothly up into the point that there is an error when the program attempts to read in a large amount of decisions, and I'm not sure why, because there's enough data to where if the program wants to make 10 decisions, there's enough data available that at least some sort of decisions should be laid out. But it's giving back an error claiming that when it reads the text file, there is no longer any numbers there. It's reading in all of the numbers and then getting to the end and trying to apply blank spaces to the decisions, and that shouldn't be done because that wouldn't really make sense, because there's the exact number necessary for 10 decisions. So I'm going to have to go through there. I did have a quick fix where it would just keep trying and eventually it would succeed, but then I realized that the reason it was succeeding was that it was skipping to the next set of decisions and applying those, which shouldn't be done, because if it's trying to apply decision number 5, then it shouldn't apply decision number 6 instead. And in some cases it was applying just a random orientation of numbers into the decision decipher of the child program and the driver. So I need to I'm glad that these errors are occurring, because if the errors weren't occurring, then I wouldn't have realized the fault in the way I had coded it. But for the time being, the brain is not running. It reaches a point where it just has constant errors, and so the trying over and over again doesn't work, because it just sends it into an infinite loop. And if you know anything about computer programming, infinite loops are bad. You're supposed to have some way to get out of things. So I could try and make another quick fix, but I think the right thing to do would be to sit down and try and grind out an actual answer to the problem at hand. Oh no, the score's still going down. Okay, so it's still running. So it seemed because the environment isn't changing, we won't see any different decisions. I can try to reload the driver program so that a new environment shows up. I'll keep doing this until there's okay, so there's a rock. So I don't know if we had that at the start of the stream, maybe, but at the moment Jeffrey is just doing the null state for when there is one rock in his field of vision. So but it could be possible that in other health quadrants and battery quadrants Jeffrey would be making different decisions. So we will see how that goes, but I will continue to talk. I'll check the chat. I don't know if there's any questions on and it doesn't look like there's any questions at the moment. So in other news, I have actually been looking into, there's a makers fair, or it's a showcase on campus here at UCF. So I'm looking into going out to the makers showcase and bringing my AI along. I probably won't showcase the environment project just because of all the glitches I've said have been happening. I don't feel as though I'm confident enough with the programming to show it off per se. This is the project that I'm most excited about at the moment, but I think if I was going to showcase something, I would probably go with the ball drop program, just because it was so successful and it's pretty easy to show that the AI has made intelligent decisions based off of the randomness of the genetic program. So that is next Tuesday, and I haven't received confirmation of whether I am I've secured a spot in that showcase, but I'm planning to at least get some supplies in order to do that. Like I said in the past, I want to try to advertise this channel and my AI a little bit, so I'm going to try and get some business cards with my information on, so I'll be able to hand those out to people. Even if I don't go get in the showcase, I can at least show and at least have something on hand to hand out to people if I don't have time to sit down and talk about and describe what my channel is. But that's basically the update for this week. I'm going to be attempting to fix those problems, so I'm not going to make any guarantees that I'll fix them by Saturday. Odds are I won't. I may make some progress towards fixing them, or at least getting it so that the AI can run, can continue to run even if it's less efficient than I would hope. Because the thing is with this type of program is, even if it's running on low efficiency, you can make up for that by just running it more. So as long as there isn't any glitches in how it's presenting the data and how it's reading the data, then it can continue to run even with some problems in the code, or losing some attempts at trying ideas every once in a while. So it could be a quick fix to just bail on those attempts, but I'll have to see how that goes when I actually am able to sit down and look at those different choices. So yeah, Jeffrey turned on his flashlight there, so that is because the battery state, I believe. I'm not sure if the flashlight was on a couple seconds ago. I think it actually was. But he's leaving the flashlight on, so that is a intelligent decision, but I think that actually has something to pertain with the fact that if you turn the flashlight on and then you don't turn it off, it stays on. But because I wanted to make it so that it has to be a conscious decision to turn it off, because if it's just sitting there wasting battery, then that could become problematic. But overall, I am pleased with the results of the short time that it has been learning, because it has made changes to the instinct of the different environments, and it's cool to see how Jeffrey reacts when there's a different set of environments here in this little light. But I have only seen him leave the area once, and like I said, that was just a random happening, because when he's spinning like this, it just happened that he stopped when he was pointed out. I'm sure if I looked into the code, I believe that he began moving forward because of a change in health. So that would mean that there was not a conscious decision to align himself away from this corner and then move out. But with that being said, if randomness is what it takes to make Jeffrey go on adventures out of the light, then I'm completely fine with that, because then the new environments will be explored and will be added to the library of instinct. So I didn't have too much to say. I've been talking for a little bit longer than I expected, actually. So I will be signing off here, and I will be streaming this Saturday. I know I haven't really had a solo stream on Saturday in the past few weeks, but I will be streaming this Saturday. So if you guys want to come out, I'll just say probably closer to 8 than 6. It could be 7. It depends on. I have something going on earlier that day, so it depends on when I get back from that. But I will be streaming, so there will be a new set of topics. I'm not sure what those topics are yet. If you guys have any suggestions, I'm open to suggestions. So then, and then there will be another segment of my random description and drawing on the trackpad with paint. I know that you guys are dying to see more of my artistic prowess with a trackpad, so I will be quenching that hunger. But until then, I will bid farewell. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on Saturday.